Emergency Housing Thursday is part of the
Well, back at the studios in Radio 1. I'm Robert Gatewood. Going to be starting the live show in a few minutes, so get ready. I have my special guests all lined up. And this is the first time we've actually been in the studio live with guests since the pandemic. So this is going to be an interesting show. So hang on there as we get queued up for the show to start. Right now we're in Silver Spring at the Radio 1 studios. We're going to talk about some goodies today. So hang in there as we get ready to start this show. Got my guest over here, Eric and Derek. Did I get it right, guys?
Yes, you did.
All right, we got it. Hey, man, they're all warmed up and ready to go.
Yeah, here we are.
All right, so hang on there, brothers.
Yeah, so we doing our interview on our event that we.
Back on Christmas Eve 2021, Lewis shot Danny Kelly Jr. in front of his 3 children. Prince George's County State's attorney
Promoting our event that we.
cases she'd ever seen.
Scream
In
and holler
sports,
at
the
y'all
Orioles
about
beat Tampa Bay.
Instagram.
They meet again tonight. Also tonight, the Nationals play San Francisco. I'm Lisa Salvati. When you're looking for news for Black America, go to newsone.com.
The views and opinions of the following show do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of News Talk 1450 WOL, Radio 1.
Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, you're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. You can also find this show on Get This Show on the Road. I am Robert Gatewood. I'm a business developer by trade. I have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web located in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm also an adjunct professor where I teach courses in marketing, networking, social media, branding, and you name it. I also written 2 books, one called Played in Full and one called Smarter Than the Boss. And I'm also a government contractor with the Small Business Administration. So I got a few receipts, as the young folks say. Been doing this for a minute. Got an exciting show lined up today. Later in the show, we're going to have our special guests from 222 Productionz. As a matter of fact, they said no, they're in the corner over there warming up right now. Eric and Derek. So guys, it's going to be live in a few minutes. So folks, get you a comfortable chair because what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about networking. Networking. Now, I teach also, that's one of the courses that I teach. As a matter of fact, I have a course coming up on August 22nd, something like that. But you can go to marketingpulpit.com and find out when the courses are going to take place. But we have a lot going on. We're going to talk about where to strike networking gold. It's out there, folks, but you got to go find it. We also thank our sponsor, BLE Executive Suites. They have the 3 locations, one in National Harbor, one in Largo, and one in that College Park, which is a hub zone. So we're glad to have them sponsoring us as they have done for the past few years. Also, they're having an upcoming networking event, First Friday coming up on August 4th, where it's going to be all about you. It's about celebrating Black Business Month. So you're going to go to Marketing Pulpit or BLE Suites and register for the upcoming event. That's going to take place on August 5th. Also, don't forget to get into the business directory. Go to mpi.bz and put your name in that business directory. Because once we get you in there, we're going to shout you out, let people know you're there. And it's a good way to build that network we keep talking about. We're going to be talking about networking because I've discovered over the years that there's nothing else on this planet that is more effective for building a business than a good networking strategy. We also have some other events coming up. Level the playing field from the nonprofit Good Hands and Feet. They're going to be having an event over in Laurel, Bowie on August 19th. Also, Stop Killing Us out of North Carolina. They're trying to put a stem the tide on this killing down in Wadesboro, North Carolina, where it has been labeled the murder capital of North Carolina. Curtis Gatewood and his group is going to be having a big event on August 26th. And of course, September 2nd, 222 Productionz will have a big event over the MGM Grand over at the National Harbor. So we got the event. So go to go to MPL.biz and get your name in that business directory so we can shout you out on this platform. Let's see. Let's talk about quick items in the news. And we're going to stick with this networking theme while we're at it. A recent report says networking is the latest tool being used by hiring managers. So companies are starting to leverage their professional network to find hires and outsource platforms for people. So once again, we're going to beat this drum today. As a matter of fact, our special guest today is going to keep that theme going. Also, some other things that are happening in the news. Let's see what else is going on here. I tell you, the news just keeps on coming. I was reading about this guy who went to Delta Airlines. He Googled Delta to cancel his flight, and he was sent to a page where he called the number, and it was actually a scam number. So I've been talking about this also. You have to make sure when you go to these websites that you are talking to the real company and not some of these scammers. The scammers are riding a high horse right now. Also, another thing that we've been talking about is this PPP loan. A lot of folks have been, matter of fact, Charlemagne the God chimed in the other day talking about all these folks that took advantage of this PPP money, and Uncle Sam did not forget. Let me tell you, folks, matter of fact, I had my accountant on here the other day. She said, if you got that money illegally, you probably just call them up and turn it back in because they will come to get you. Let's see what else is going on. The lady that was, what's her name, Carla Russell, the lady that went missing for 49 hours. Man, I tell you, I hate when that happens. But anyway, she finally, the detectives and the authorities are saying that her story was made up. And so now everybody's talking about that. And we keep having these stories, but there's so much going on in our community. We really don't need that kind of a distraction. We have these businesses to build. We have these networking to take care of. So let's stay focused, folks. Let's not get off track and start talking about people that disappeared and made up stories. We have bigger fish to fry. And that's why we have our guest today. And we're going to keep the theme going here on the marketing pulpit. Let's talk about networking for a minute. If you're trying to figure out what networking is about, and if you're trying to decide where to network, let's talk about some of the top 6 places from Robert Gatewood where you can go get your networking on. The first one is industry events and conferences. If you're talking about these in your industry, for instance, if you're an attorney, if you're an MBA or whatever, they have conferences. Go to the networking event. Also, they have these professional associations, great places to network. Networking groups, places like Meetup, LinkedIn are great places for networking. These online platforms, take advantage of them. Alumni associations, and here's one, once again, ties into our guest today, local business events. Keep an eye out for local business events that'll be great for networking and meeting those influencers that can actually help build your stakeholder relationship base. Now, what are stakeholders? Stakeholders are people that have a stake in the interest and success of your business. Clients, customers, vendors, suppliers, employees, contractors, partners, funders, joint venturers. You need these stakeholders to help grow your business. And let's talk about the networking costs. Some people say, look, networking is going to cost me a lot of money. It's going to cost me some time. Some people think it's free. Let me give you a quick rundown on what costs a networking. Some places have like a membership fee. Like if you join BNI, which is Business Networking International, they charge about a $600 sign-up fee and about a $400 a year renewal fee. Some people throw up their hands, oh my God, that cost is too prohibitive. But you think about it, that's about 1 week of advertising and most other types of advertising. If you have to travel, that may be an expense. So some people have to get on a plane, they have to get on a train, an automobile to go to these different networks. That's a networking cost that you may have to incur. Sometimes people do lunches and entertainment. That could be a cost. And then sometimes there is an event attendance fee. This is what I'm going to say about costs, ladies and gentlemen. Advertising should always be looked at as an investment. Okay? One of the challenges in our community, I hate to say it, I hate to pick on us, but we look at things as expenses that are actually investments. Advertising, marketing, promotions, and yes, networking is actually an investment. Now, when you think about investment, think about these acronyms I'm always talking about. Cost per acquisition, and lifetime value. If you go out and spend, let's say $150, $200, and you get one customer, don't look at that $150 as an expense. If that person comes in, let's say you go to one of these events, like my clients, for instance, you spend $150. You get one good connection out of that. That $150 could pay you the rest of your life. So you have to look at these things as an investment. That's why you want to pick and choose an event that actually has some value. It's like if you've been going to all these free events and you've had nothing to show for it, you say, well, I've been networking for 10 years. I always go to the free ones. You may have to up your game a little bit. You may have to go and invest a little bit of money. So that's why we're talking about, when we're talking about networking, we're talking about there is a cost. If there is a cost, look at it as an investment. And most of the smart folks, when you do it, you're going to get that money back. So those are just a few quick tips on networking as we get ready to bring in our guest in a few minutes. Once again, go to mpi.bz and get your name in that business directory. And also, don't forget to look at our upcoming events. Let's talk about quickly. I'm going to talk about, once again, some of these opportunities in networking. When you're talking about networking, and let's talk about advertising in general. When you're advertising, let's say direct action advertising, you're running an ad on a radio station or on social media. A lot of times you're after what we call customer acquisition. But to be successful in business, you can't survive on customer acquisition alone. There are other types of stakeholders that you must acquire. And some of those stakeholders are very hard to attain through traditional advertising. That's why you have to get out here and network. We're talking about going after customers and clients. We're talking about going after vendors and suppliers. We're talking about employees, contractors. We're talking about partners, funders. We're talking about joint venturers. All of these are stakeholders that are much more attainable if you have a networking strategy. So that's why we like to talk about networking, not from just a customer acquisition, but from a business development point of view. And when you take that approach, you're going to find yourself much more successful as you go out here and start doing your networking. Now, I have my guest here this morning, and we're going to talk about, they have a big event coming up at in September. And from what I understand, it's going to be a networking event. So without further ado, I'm just going to quickly introduce my guest this morning. I tell you what, matter of fact, guys, I'm going to let you introduce yourselves quickly. Go ahead, starting from left to right here.
Right, left to right. Well,
Let's go.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? It's Eric Robinson, 222 Productionz, videographer.
What's going on, guys? This is Derek Robinson, 222 Productionz as well.
All right. Well, tell them, guys, I'm gonna pick your brain here for a minute. Now, you've been hearing me talking about networking. Mm-hmm. What do you personally think about networking as an advertising tool?
Networking is everything. Everything. Meeting new people, bouncing ideas off, growing your brand, your business, your product. Networking is everything.
All right. And what do you think?
As I like to say, your network is your net worth.
Amen.
So, you get out what you put in. If you invest in yourself, you can't go wrong. I don't think you can lose when you invest in yourself. I feel like it's you have to believe in yourself and have faith. And that's the first thing I think you should have in starting any type of business or any type of career in your lifetime.
Let me ask you this. What made you, let's talk about 222 Productionz.
Mm-hmm.
And 222. First of all, how did you come up with that name?
So we came up with 222 Productionz. Eric and I were born on the same day, February 22nd, but we're 3 years apart. So he was born on my third birthday. So we went to school, the Art Institute of Washington. We got degrees in digital film. So after that, we kind of like got the ball rolling. Got degrees, came out in the world, started filming weddings, birthday parties, events, commercials, and after that, it just took off.
Wow.
A lot of people always ask us, how did that happen? Or did your parents plan it? And honestly, the honest truth, They say that they didn't plan it. It was just literally the universe just made it happen. And I was just born on his 3rd birthday. 222, here we are. So we call ourselves angels. We like to call ourselves angels. 222 angels.
Yeah, 222 angel number.
222 angels. Hey, I like
Yes,
that.
sir.
I like that a lot. And I was talking about we have an event coming up back in September the 2nd. Now, I've been a big fan of networking, as you probably could tell from my earlier discussions. And so that's why, like I said, people come on this show, we just don't pull people nilly-willy. There has to be a match, a fit with the show. And so when I heard about the networking event, I looked at some of the folks that were going to be there. And so what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to ask you a little bit more about this event that's coming up and why you think people should come to this event. There's a million networking events going on right now. And I'm going to tell you, most of them are not really worth the gas to drive over there. But it's almost like most things. The more you put in, the more you get out. So we're going to talk about that when we come back. Also, we're going to talk about some other items we're going to have you to chime in on. So this is the Marketing Pulpit, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We're about to take a break. When we come back, we're going to finish our conversation with Eric and Derek. They're from 222 Productionz. What I want you to do in the meantime is also go to marketingpulpit.com and find out more about the show. Join up for the business directory. Go to our Facebook page. We're also on YouTube. We're on LinkedIn. And we're on Twitter. So hang on for a second. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We're going to be back in a minute. I'm here with my guests, Eric and Derek. Hang on a second. We'll be right back.
Lay back,
That was
baby.
my warm up.
Yeah, that was your warm up.
Warm up.
See,
It's a little warm up.
They're like, oh, Mom, we do this. It's a big difference.
Hey guys, about to go back live. Here in the studio with my guests.
That's what
So hang on a second there.
You talking about you trying not to stutter?
Getting some behind the scenes action here.
Try not to stutter.
I know me, I'm
I told you I'm gonna feed off of everything. Like, I'm helping.
All right. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. Not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. People always ask me, man, what do you mean saving jobs, saving the community? You're not saving souls, you're saving businesses. Well, let me tell you a little story. Like Bernie Mac. Let me tell you a story. Now, Bernie Mac has been better. But my dad was actually a minister. He was in the same church for 51 years. And I was a little guy in the back seat of the car. I'd be riding around with him and I'd be watching him. And then one day about 13 years ago, I was about to launch a radio show. And I wanted a name for the show. And my dad just happened to be in hospice at the time. And I'm saying, wow, how can I honor my dear old dad? So I named the show Marketing Pulpit in his honor. So I'm not a what do you call it, a religious minister, or I don't do, my ministry is actually saving businesses, putting people to work, and providing an economic foundation for our community. We're in the midst of the summer now, and a lot of times we're putting our kids in our fancy cars and driving over to somebody else's community for jobs. To me, that makes no sense absolutely whatsoever. We should be able to hire our own kids, put our own adults to work, and provide an underpinning for our community. So that's why I'm so passionate about making sure that we have the right mission here. And that is to build strong businesses in our community and put our people to work. And to do that, sometimes I have to bring in some help, have to bring in some muscle, like these two young men I have with me today. They have a program, they have a business, an event coming up in November. And this is Eric and Derek. And let me ask you this now. We've been talking about networking this morning. Why should I or somebody as a business owner come to your event versus the event down the street?
Well, you should come to our event because we have a series of entrepreneurs coming through, like-minded entrepreneurs like Dr. Lavelle Long, CEO of DC Black Broadway, Tammy Robinson, of course, Jody Jackson. We have Derek Grace, too, serial entrepreneur based out of Tampa, Florida. Malik Yusuf, he's an 8-time Grammy Award winner. So it's a difference between being nominated and actually going through.
A winner. He actually won. Got the trophy.
He actually won, 8 times. So
Wow.
then we have Swade Mitchell. He's the president and CEO of Nubia Filmworks. So that's our mentor in the film game, in the film world, kind of like took us under his wing back in the day. So, yeah, so.
Let me ask you this. How did you guys get in this business?
Honestly, we got in this business by, first of all, we went to school for it. And we told our folks, we go to school for this and they help us out and help us invest in our career, then we're going to get something out of it. So once we graduated and we got our associate's degree in the Art Institute of Washington, after we graduated, we just jump-started pretty much our career and started a film production company after we graduated. And here we are here. And this film game, I'm not going to lie, it opened up a lot of doors for us, And this entrepreneur event is different because these are the people, the guests that we have here. These are people that we rub shoulders with and we look up to, and these are kind of like our mentors, pretty much. So we're trying to help the community out.
You said something. I got to stop. You said rub shoulders. Rub shoulders, is another name for networking. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Once again, you're making my point, the importance of networking and the importance of the event that you're having. Now, you call this a networking event. Yeah. So why do you call it a networking event versus just a place to come out and have fun and meet some folks?
A networking event because we have like-minded entrepreneurs around the world. So it's your network is your network. So meeting new people, you could potentially grow your brand. You could potentially build your team. You could potentially meet somebody that can, land jobs. So being an entrepreneur and networking events is top tier.
Wow, man.
Top tier.
I really like that. Now, let me ask you this. Somebody's going to say, hey, is it a cost to come there? Or do I have to pay to get in? What do you say, Tom?
So we have a small donation. So we have a donation for this event. You can click the link on our Instagram page, 222 Productionz, or you can go to our website, www.222productions.com, and you can check it out there.
Or you can also go to eventbrite.com.
Right.
Probably did.
So that link, it will send you to our Eventbrite link.
Let me ask you this. What is it like working with family?
It's amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
It's nothing like it's nothing no better than working with family. Some family, you can't trust, but our family is honestly, we build strong. We have good love, good support. So working with our family is amazing. It's amazing. I wouldn't want it no other way.
I'd have to agree with that. My brothers and I, we got a little singing group going. We support each other. I think my web company does all their websites. One brother has an insurance finance company. All of us support him. We come together, and there is it's untruth. I call it a urban legend that you can't work with family. But some of my most successful clients, believe it or not, are family businesses. I look at people like Joe Madison. I look at MRS Tax. I look at BLE. Right. All of these are family-owned businesses, and they are phenomenally successful. So I'm just going to kill that myth right now. I mean, there are some people that sometimes there's a family member that may be a little errant. They may need a little more help than others. But you can give them something to do. You can, let them be the security guard or something. But I do believe I'm a firm believer in having families work together. Now you have this event coming up on September 2nd. Do you all do other events? I mean, do you help people with events in general? I mean, what is that 222 Production does?
So 222 Productionz is a digital filmmaking and video production company. This is actually our first major event here at the MGM. So
Are
You
you
don't.
Are you nervous about it?
Nervous? I wouldn't say
No.
nervous.
Yeah, you guys
Pretty
are cool.
excited. So I guess when you're
Yeah,
excited,
it's
it
exciting.
brings nervousness.
Yeah.
These guys are too cool to be nervous. I'm just telling you.
It's-
I don't see nervous anything about them. You would not see nervous in the dictionary when you look them up. So I mean, what is that?
Appreciate that.
Now, how did you decide to pick the M? I mean, I'm a marketing guy, okay,
Mhm.
and I understand the importance of location. What do they say? Location.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that you picked the MGM Grand and it's a place that everybody can recognize. You have it at National Harbor. Was that just coincident, or was that part of your thinking?
Part of our thinking, it was a
No.
family decision.
Yeah, that was part of our thinking. We feel like the MGM is a place where, it's a business-like atmosphere.
Mhm.
And if you're in the MGM and, you invest in yourself, it gives you motivation. It makes you feel like you're in a business-like atmosphere. It just
feels good.
Yeah, it's just a good energy to be around. It's a professional business atmosphere to be around. So that's why we chose the MGM for one. Also, this event, we worked like 9 to 5s. We've been there and done that before, and we know there's a lot of friends and family that be around us that's trying to find an exit strategy to get out of those jobs.
Right, exactly.
So we've been loved and had support all our life. So we want to spread the love and support to others and jumpstart them and motivate them to get them out of the jobs. Because I'm not knocking a 9 to 5, no.
Mhm.
But it's always good to have your own business and be your own boss. So this event, and that's what it's for, pretty much, to help motivate people to jumpstart their career, and rub shoulders with people that we rub shoulders with that's genuinely willing to invest and help out, and just you can learn a lot of marketing strategies and business strategies to get your career jumping, and that's what it's all about.
Sure.
I know they don't want to get on camera, but I know your parents were pivotal, played an instrumental role in your rapid rise and your success.
Absolutely.
Tammy and Broderick, and tell me a little bit about how their involvement helped propel you.
Oh man!
Wow. It's been crazy. They have been supporting and supportive since birth. Everything we do,
I love it.
Everywhere we go, they are like right there, right behind us, just pumping us, pushing us to go forward, and it's great.
Yeah, shout out to my mom and my
Yeah.
pops. We wouldn't be where we are today without them. Just the love, support they give us, just the ambition that they have, and that we believe that they believe, and we could feel the love and that they believe in us. So that motivates us to get up, and keep going, and go hard.
And I'm throwing a little personal note here too.
Mhm.
That if you provide good business and good service, which I know you guys are going to do, that you're not only going to keep that particular client, but you can actually get the next generation. And you guys are an example of that. I've been working with Tammy and Broderick for about 15 years almost. And now we're working with the sons.
Yeah.
That is a marketing lesson to anybody that's out here listening. If you think you can go out here and cut shortcuts and do people wrong, let me tell you, if you do good, it's going to follow you. The same thing if you do bad.
Absolutely.
So thanks again, guys. Tell us again when this event's going to happen.
This event is happening September 2nd at the MGM National Harbor. There you go.
And where's the best way to go find the information?
The best way to find this information, you can go to our website at 222productions.com, or you can go to our Instagram page at 222productions.
Or you can go to eventbrite.com.
And I'm tell you one other place. You can go to mpi.biz, the business director that we've been talking about. We have it on our website, and we're going to be also putting it on our social media site. So we'll make sure that you can find this information. I'm going to thank Eric and Derek once again. You guys, I'm telling you, are phenomenal. I support you. I know you're going to have nothing but good things ahead. And so, folks, to keep up with what's going on with the event, just go to marketingpulpit.com, go to mpi.biz, get in that free business directory while it's still free, and you can connect with people like Eric and Derek. And we're going to be wrapping things up here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up the show for today. This is the Marketing Pulpit, and we'll be back next week at the same time. And if you want to be successful, you have to do these 3 things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us,
Hustling
man.
every day, hustling.
Thank you for having us, man. For sure, man. That was fun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna wrap up the show today. I have my guests here, and we're wrapping things up here. We'll be back next week at the same time on the Marketing Pulpit. If you have an event coming up, contact us, get in that business directory, and let us shout you out here on Radio 195.9 FM. Until next week, we will see you from the Marketing Pulpit.